This is my Gossamer gear pack I use for our 4.5 day trek of the ocean to Lake Trail. And my total weight, 10.4 pounds, and that's without food and water. And what I took on the trail, had my hat, my phone charger, and my GoPro battery charger, sunglasses, my Sawyer water filter, which worked pretty well, my flashlight, some rope, which I used to dry clothes, bathroom stuff, had some aspirin, toothbrush, toothpaste, razor, comb, and toilet paper. And I took my phone, my extra clothes, which I took one pair of extra underwear, which I never used, extra pair of socks, which I never used, extra t-shirt, which I used when I was drying my clothes, and a fleece, which I never used. And I have a 40-degree sleeping bag, which I hardly used, just laid it over me a couple nights. My stove, lighter, spoon, and my pot, which I used to cook dinner, fuel, raincoat, Sierra Designs, which I never used, and my Neo Air, and a waterproof pack cover, which I never used, my Z-Packs Suplex tent, and a silk bed sheet, which is mostly what I use for sleeping because I didn't use my sleeping bag, and my Gossamer gear backpack, which worked great, held everything no problem. And I had 2 water bottles, which were plenty for the trip, a pair of camp shoes, which I also used to walk through some of the swamps, New Balance shoes, which work well. They're very lightweight and quick drying, so that's why I chose those. Map I used was the Florida Trail map. So that's all we had for maps, which was no problem. The trail was very easy to follow, never got lost. So my whole pack weight was 10 pounds, 4 ounces. Hobe Sound, February 22nd. We're starting our hike from ocean to shore. We're starting ocean to lake. Maggie drove us to the trailhead this morning.
And we're starting in the rain.
We're at Hobe Sound. We got coconut trees to start out. There's Joe Solomon ready to go.
Hike number 3 with Kenneth.
Trail is beautiful starting out here. This is Hobe Sound Beach. These are some really cool old trees. Crossing the Intercoastal Waterway on the Ocean to Lake Trail.
And I'm already tired.
Crossing the Intercoastal. Not what you would expect on a trail through the wilderness. Yeah, it's not all woods and prickers and snakes and alligators.
Not yet.
We got boutiques along the way too. That's the Florida Trail marker system. We took an alternate route down the railroad tracks for a while to stay off Highway 1. Now we're on the trail. It's a nice area, sandy trail, so far dry. Got a few flowers out here. We are in Jonathan Dickinson State Park. Nice sandy trail, but not too soft, so it's pretty easy walking. This is a nice trail, isn't it?
Did you see that dinosaur?
Oh, Beth, what is that? It's a panther. There's a black panther. Got some water on the trail, but We decided to take off our shoes for this first crossing. Joe is crossing. The water actually feels good on the feet already. We're still in Jonathan Dickinson State Park. There's a hog trap.
Look at all the rooting that's going on around it. Ken got stuck in the hog trap.
He's just trying to get some food. Help!
Help! Get him out. I'm gonna go get the ranger. We'll be right back.
You can see where the wild hogs are rooting around in the ground for food. There's a trail marker. They always have them offset to tell you which way to go. So here we take a left turn. And I'm walking in my sandals for a while, trying to keep my feet dry as long as possible, but eventually I'm sure I'm gonna have wet shoes.
Let the sun shine.
You got a nice boardwalk built for us over the swamp. Some cypress trees back in there. It's got a lot of new boardwalk in here. This is the Ranger Harlan Pierce Bridge. Oh, 2021 this was dedicated. Cool cypress swamp back in there. That's awesome. Nice swamp area along the trail in Jonathan Dickinson State Park. Still in Jonathan Dickinson State Park. Just passed a bunch of forest workers. Beautiful day out here today. Got a bunch of egrets coming up here. Lots of palmetto plants. We've been seeing a lot of animal tracks. I don't know if there's any black panthers possibly, or bobcat. We got a lot of deer tracks. The Florida Trail. Found a nice little rest stop here with some benches. Got a wild hog trap.
Yes, sir.
They got corn inside.
Oh, yes, sir. There's water. Should we drink it?
This is Kitchen Creek South. Kitchen Creek camp here.
Look at the water level, though, dude. We're good because normally it's much higher.
This is a cool area near Kitchen Creek campsite. Very thick. A lot of ferns, thick vegetation. I think we're still in Jonathan Dickinson State Park. It is almost about 11:30. We started at 7, so we've been hiking about 4.5 hours, and it's been dry so far. Really pleasant hike. This is the trail sign. We are very thirsty now. We've been walking from 7 till noon on 1.5 liters of water. We just found a stream, so we are very happy. Solomon,
See?
we're restocking our water at Hobe Grove Canal. It's pretty cool. They got a pack rack here to hang up our packs at Hobe Grove Canal, and some benches where we can take a break. Got some cool ferns through here. There goes a snake. I don't know what kind it is. I think we just left Jonathan Dickinson State Park, and now we're walking through a cool cedar swamp. Got a nice boardwalk over the swamp area here. We're crossing Cypress Creek.
Look how low it is, Ken.
Yeah, the water's low.
No alligators.
And here we have the steepest hill in Florida. So we're coming up to the Florida Turnpike, and we should be crossing it shortly. Cool. Cypress swamp. This is the Florida Turnpike. We are at the Florida Turnpike, crossing under the Florida Turnpike. We crossed under the turnpike at the river, BZ Creek. Got a nice boardwalk for us going across BZ Creek, but the creek is pretty dry. Not much water on the trail today, fortunately. This is a beautiful spot. Lots of epiphytes growing on that tree. Yeah. Hi there, raccoon. We made it to Riverbend Park. They have some places to fill your water bottles, bathrooms, picnic tables, so a good place to take a break. We're walking through Riverbend Park after we took a break and had something to eat. Hope Solomon knows what he's doing right now.
Well, I don't. I went the wrong way.
This is a 1930 sawmill in Riverbend Park.
And it still functions.
Pretty cool mill. Roseate spoonbill white ibis. There's a great white heron. We're just leaving the Riverbend Park area right now. We just heard a big alligator jump in. We see two babies, three babies. Following the canal just outside of Riverbend Park. Now this reminds me of the Florida Trail down around the levees in southern Florida. You had these roads that went on for miles. Walking through swamp, and we're almost done for the day, and we ran into this. Just coming off the levees, heading into Starvation Slaw or something.
I think we took a wrong turn.
Maybe. Let's go back to where it's dry. There's fish swimming on our trail.
I see two knuckleheads wading through swamp water.
This is awesome. Especially at 5:20 after hiking 20 miles. And now we got this. This is our camp tonight. Solomon's got his tent set up there. And we got another group here with us tonight. It was a good day's hike, 20 miles today, and we're cooking dinner. It is 6:07. We'll be ready for another day tomorrow. First morning.
How's my hair? Is my hair okay?
Your hair's a mess, as is mine, and Joe's tent is a mess.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to go. We're planning on going to youth camp today, about 10 miles. This is our first campsite. It was nice. Wednesday, February 24th, and we are starting our second day on the Ocean to Lake Trail. And it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day today. We are officially in the swamp now for a while. We just had some people at our site, and they say we're going to be going through this for 2 or 3 miles. Water is nice and cool, and it's getting hot out, so it feels good.
Yeah, it's refreshing because it's so hot.
Bottom is pretty clear, pretty sandy, hard bottom, so that makes it easier. We got roseate spoonbills flying, we got ibis, we got egrets, lots of bird life around here. Got some cool air plants, they're everywhere.
They do these shoots up and they come out with real nice flowers.
Flowering. Just following the orange blazes, our lifeline through this swamp.
Yeah. This is cool.
You can see where the pigs have been rooting around. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, sir.
Just got done walking through some water, some beautiful forested area, and now we are crossing a bridge over the canal. Maybe we'll see some alligators in here this morning. Boardwalk started a little too late. Nice boardwalk crossing. I'm gonna throw Solomon over. I'm throwing him in. We got pollywogs swimming right through our trail.
Good filters.
Yeah.
Good fresh water. Here we're approaching the tower. Good place for a 11 o'clock snack. This is the tower. Beautiful view from up here. Welcome to the tower, Joe.
Welcome, welcome.
This is about a half an hour past the observation tower. Pigs have been going crazy here. They're just tearing up everything. We're getting close to Beeline Highway, as I can hear it right now. Just came out to Beeline Highway. Very wild and primitive here.
Yes.
We're crossing Beeline Highway. Load a trail marker. We got about a half-mile walk along Beeline Highway. Just leaving the Beeline Highway, making a left turn, headed down the next section of the Ocean to Lake Trail. I see an alligator right up ahead. An alligator. I think we better start running. There he is. He's watching us. Leaving the canal and the road for a 2-track and hopefully some shade. Joe is taking a break. Feet are pretty tired today. We got 3 miles to go to the youth camp where we have permission to stay the night. Here's the Corbett management area, and we should be close to the youth camp where we're going to spend the night. Welcome to the Everglades Youth Conservation Camp. We made it to the youth camp, and Joey is setting up his tent.
Ready for bed.
We're at the youth camp, just finished dinner, and this is a great place to spend the night. Thursday, February 25, we're leaving the youth camp, and we're gonna plan on staying at Gopher Campground tonight. So this was a great place. We had showers and water, potable water, picnic tables. We are refreshed. Just left the Everglades Youth Camp, walking through J.W. Corbett Park. Lots of spider webs this morning. Just turned off the road from the youth camp, and now we are back on trail. A foggy, humid, wet morning. Ocean to Lake hiking trail. You go this way. We walked 20 minutes on dry land this morning, heading out to youth camp. But now we are heading in to the swamp. Mud. Joe has taken the lead. And this water is cold. Joe, are you afraid? Joe is crying like a baby already. And we just started this swamp walk. Hey Joe, Are you sure we are on the trail?
A few marks.
I don't know if we're on the trail or not. This can't be the trail. Wait a minute. I guess we're on the trail.
Good thing you let your shoes dry, huh? It actually feels nice.
We're about 40 minutes out of the youth camp. You still see signs of civilization out here. We're in the J.W. Corbett wildlife area and very muddy out here. Actually, the water is much easier to walk in than the mud. Nice sandy bottom here, which makes it much easier walking. We're back on the trail. We lost it for a couple hundred feet. We realized there's no more marks. If you don't see a mark, you know you're not on the trail because there's a lot of marks. Very well marked so far. About an hour and a half out of the Everglades Youth Camp. Hit a little bit of water here and there, but so far it's a fairly easy trail. Very important to stop periodically after going through water and get the sand out of your shoes because we got a lot of sand and it starts grinding on your foot.
It's best to do it near water so you can actually rinse everything.
And that's what happens when you get a coral snake bite. We're about 2 hours out of the youth camp. Beautiful morning. 2 hours and 20 minutes out of the Everglades Youth Camp. And the trail has been pretty dry. Little bit of mud. Pretty easy walking so far today. Lots of animal tracks. There's Bowman campsite right over on that island. But we are gonna bypass this and go to Little Gopher. Are you ready?
Ready.
3.5 hours out of the youth camp, and the trail is pretty dry. Easy trail today. It's about 4 hours out of the youth camp, 7.5 miles from the youth camp. Heading through some cypress swamp. The water actually feels really soothing. Lots of epiphytes on the trees. Flowering air plant. This is a beautiful area, lots of ferns, epiphytes, cedars. We're on our way to Little Gopher campsite, and it's a beautiful spot here.
In what part of the world? Like, would you look at this and say, hey, I've seen this in Africa, or...
Should have about 4 miles to go to Little Gopher campsite. Getting close to Little Gopher campsite, and I'm very surprised this is dry in the cypress area. I think usually this is underwater. We made it to Little Gopher campsite, and it is 3:10. Little Gopher campsite, here we are. Got a fire pit, benches, looks nice. Look at all those fish. Lots of gar or pike. This is our water source at Little Gopher. Here's Little Gopher campsite. Not a bad little retreat. Some palms and plenty of room for our tents. Nice, and it's about a 5-minute walk to get water at the canal. That water looks like urine, but we're drinking it.
If it's urine, urine is sterile.
It's filtered. There's a big alligator. Just laying down, looking at the blue sky, resting after a nice day's hike. Dinner time. What are you having for dinner, Joe?
Spiced up Santa Fe, black beans and rice.
Got a little fire going. Just finished dinner at Little Gopher campsite. And now we're going to go visit the alligator pond with our resident alligator. Near Little Gopher campground, hoping to spot some wildlife along the road here. Friday the 26th, just breaking camp at 7:30 in the morning. Gonna head for a water refill and then continue onward, leaving Little Gopher campsite. Looking for our resident alligator this morning, but he is nowhere to be seen. Getting water this morning down at the lake. Check for alligators first to make sure that we're not going to get jumped. 8 o'clock, we're done filling up on water. Beautiful fern-covered trail with lots of palms, pines, and sunny sky. We've got 18 miles to go to Lake Okeechobee. About a half an hour outside Little Gopher campsite, and we just entered a nice pine fern forest. A few mosquitoes out today. About 40 minutes from Little Gopher. Been trying to keep my feet dry, but just about ready to give up. Trail's getting very muddy and full of water. So looks like wet feet for the rest of the day.
Probably the safest drinking water around.
Yeah, much better than what we got this morning. Here's a flowering epiphyte. Pretty. Hour and 45 minutes out of Little Gopher campsite. We were come to this power line. Make sure you latch the gate when you leave. I was walking behind Joe. He had jumped out of his pants when a huge alligator was laying right here and jumped into the water. Nice spot at Powerline campsite to take a 10 o'clock break. We've been on the trail for 2 hours from Little Gopher. Got a lot of little crab nests along the trail. 10:50 in the morning. Just left the Powerline campsite. Had a little bit of water. Now we got some nice dry walking for a while. Very well maintained section. They have it mowed along the edges. A couple hours from Powerline campground, and we've been walking through nice dry trail for quite a while now.
The iconic steel pipe.
I am filming this only because it's here. No other reason.
We could sleep in there.
Be a good place to spend the night. It's raining. There goes Joe. Joe is taking the lead.
Look at all the snails.
This is Joe, aka Solomon Bellinger. Okay.
This is Ken, otherwise known as aka the Scout, Appalachian Trail Scout Leader. And we are
hiking the Florida Ocean to Lake Trail.
Dun, 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 dun.
It is 1:40. Just had lunch. We just passed a group of 4 people. They said the trail is dry from here to the end. 1:50, and we came up to the Loop 4 campsite. We're gonna keep moving on towards Lake Okeechobee. We're in the Dupreece area now, and there's some hiking loops through here, and I think we have about 8 miles to go to Lake Okeechobee. This is a good place to wash up on the trail. We saw it from the trail, and see if you can find it. Now only if I had some water to wash up.
I'd rather have some water to drink.
I thought the last site was the last campsite, but we just ran into this one just about another 1/10 of a mile from that. So this is, I think, the last site. I'm gonna go check it out. Here's the last campsite before Lake Okeechobee, and there's a water pump, but it is broken. So if you want water, you can get it from the swamp. This is the final stretch between Loop 4 campsite and Lake Okeechobee. I think it's 8-mile stretch. And we still got a lot of pigs rooting around in the ground. It's 3:13, and we have 4.5 miles to Lake Okeechobee, and the trail goes this way. Only had 1 liter of water left for the night, so I was very happy to find this water source. That'll get me through the evening till tomorrow morning. 3 miles from Okeechobee. We stopped for the night at 4:30, just couldn't make it all the way to the Lake Okeechobee. We're about 3 miles away.
He was afraid it was gonna rain, then he said the mosquitoes, then he said his feet hurt.
I just saw 5 or 6 wild pigs, finally.
Ooh, finally.
Yeah. Got a cattle ranch just by our last night's campsite. Solomon's cooking dinner at our last campsite. What are you having?
I am having chicken rice.
Whippoorwill. There's hundreds of mosquitoes missing out on dinner outside my tent.
11 o'clock in the morning, just broke camp, and we are heading to Lake Okeechobee. We got about 3 miles to go. 7:20 Saturday morning, got a little bit of a dirt road walk. Shaping up to be a beautiful Saturday.
Can I tell you something?
This is the breadbasket of agriculture right here. Belglade, Port Mayaka area, Pahokee, and growing some excellent corns. A lot of muck here. Used to be the Everglades. Here's an alligator crossing. Going into that channel.
There's the foot and the body being drugged, tail right there.
We're on our final stretch to Lake Okeechobee. It's 8 o'clock a.m. and we've seen a lot of wild pig signs along here. Tracks everywhere going through the corn. There's the end. Lake Okeechobee's right at the trees at the end of the road. 8:30 Saturday morning, just finishing up the trail. Final stretch to Okeechobee. Congratulations.
How'd you get over there? This is the hardest thing all day.
See if Solomon can navigate this fig tree. Good job. It's nice to get in the shade. Even at 8:30 in the morning, it was getting pretty warm out there.
It's flat, you're gonna be fine. With the sand and the water and...
Here we are. There's the levee to Okeechobee. I've been waiting 4.5 days for this fresh water. Nothing.
Looks like you're waiting another 4.5 days.
Here's the trailhead parking lot. Lake Okeechobee, February 27th, 8:30 in the morning. We finished the trail. And this is the Florida Trail, which I hiked in 2015.